Our blessing cup is a communion with the blood of Christ, and the bread we break, it is a sharing in the body of the Lord. How can we make a return for all the goodness God has shown? We will take the cup of life and call upon God's name. Our blessed cup is a communion with the blood of Christ, and the bread we break, it is a sharing in the body of the Lord. Precious indeed in your sight, the life and death of those you love. We are your servants, for you have set us free. Gracious and merciful God, we give you thanks and bless your name. We are your people, praise and glory to your name. Our blessed cup is a communion with the blood of Christ, and the bread we break, it is a sharing in the body of the Lord. Our blessed, for you have heard my voice, for you have heard my plea, and the bread though death surrounded me, you heard and answered me. Our blessed cup is a communion with the blood of Christ, and the bread we break, it is a sharing in the body of the Lord. Okay, let's talk about the song a little bit. We're looking in the key of C. It's very stepwise, it has the same chord progression for both the refrain and the verses, so you don't really have to get that difficult. You can learn one set of those and let the singers take the rest. You don't need to try to mimic all of the lines that they're singing because they're doing it. You can add more color, which is why I approached it with the synth pad a little bit more. I'm using a Nord Electro with Grand Imperial with Warm Pad 1, if you're curious, works really well. Aside from that, there's 4 parts during the refrain, and there's 2 parts during the verse, and then there's this descant that we add on top of it at the end. The suggested roadmap kind of offers a few different ways to do it, but they typically say do verses 2, 3, and 4 back to back. I didn't want to do that because in my time of using this song, there's an ostinato refrain that you can use through the last couple verses, and it really has always thrown off my singers, no matter how many times we've gone over it. So instead, what I decided to do is to do 2 and 3 back to back, sing a refrain, and then have the singers go into verse 4. It might still cause some confusion to some, but if you practice it enough, it's really pretty, and it's a long song too. So kind of doing things to kind of speed it up a little bit. It kind of keeps it nice. You'll notice I did not repeat the refrain. It's you can. I chose not to in this particular arrangement, just because it does repeat so much, and I wanted to get to the point of it. So what I did is we did a unison refrain for the first time through, and it goes into a solo first verse, and then it will go into a 4-part harmony SATB refrain, and then it will do verses 2 and 3 back to back with the duet. After verse 3, everybody sings the refrain, and I'm going to have the descant added. So we'll have SATB plus D for the refrain after verse 3. And then what I want to do is I want to use the SATB refrain ostinato underneath verse 4. So you don't want to sing it quite as loud. In regards to that fourth verse, it's just too much if you try to sing loud. So you want to kind of turn your voice into a softer background vocals. Really make sure your 2 soloists singing verse 4 are in front of that melody. If you don't, it's still pretty, but remember, we're trying to focus on the reading, right, of the psalm itself, and so we don't really get to focus on it if you are over singing the refrain ostinato. So bring verse 4's ostinato refrain down while they sing. And then once they finish verse 4, then everything comes back up with a nice big verse 5. And that's the roadmap we're using. It's been very successful for me. It gives us a build and a place to go. I really prefer having females singing my verses for this one. I love a soprano and alto. I do think a tenor singing the verse and an alto singing the harmony also works really well. However, my first choice would be soprano and alto. I love having the ajuste descant. It could be a female voice. It's a nice light descant. It's a floating style descant. Or it could be a tenor. It sounds really nice either way. I typically have done it if my singers were not ready for it, but I would prefer a female sing it. As far as some of the diction goes, we have blessing cup very often, and you want to make sure that those are enunciated at the ends of the syllable. And the melody kind of flows over that refrain. So our blessing cup is a communion, right? It floats over where the alto, tenor, bass are going, our blessing cup is a communion. And those, the cup and yun and Christ really get enunciated strongly. And as long as you do that, everything will be really pretty. Let the tune build. It's warm. It's supposed to be warm and beautiful. So again, I hope this helps. If you have any questions about it, let me know. If you don't like the way I played it, that's fine too. Let me know. But this is primarily a practice video for us to have for future reference. So hope you enjoyed.